In this video, I will review Happy by Fearne Cotton. The pursuit of happiness is one of life's biggest goals. Keep watching to find out if this book can help. Hi, I'm Linda and welcome to my YouTube channel, Better You Books, where I read and review books that help you to become a better version of yourself. In today's review of Happy, I will tell you more about the author, Fearne Cotton, let you know my thoughts and key takeaways, as well as my favourite quote, before letting you know who I would recommend this book for and giving it a rating out of 5. So keep watching till the end to see what score I gave it. This book was released in 2017 and it is a Sunday Times bestseller. For those of you from the UK, you probably know who Fearne is. She's most famous for being a TV presenter, and she was also a Radio 1 DJ for 10 years. However, in the last few years, she's moved into different areas, mostly personal development and food. She's married with 2 children and also has 2 stepchildren and lives in London. Her first book was a cookbook and she has since written 2 more cookbooks, of which I have one, really delicious recipes. Happy was her first self-help book and she has written 2 since. I have one called Calm, which I haven't read yet, and there is another one called Quiet. She's also written 2 children's books. She has a podcast called Happy Place and also a festival of the same name. In the book, Fearne writes, happiness. I think we often assume it's just around the corner, in the hands of others, or only for a chosen category of people. The beautiful thing is, it's actually there for the taking, inside us all the time, bubbling away, waiting to be embraced. This book is divided into 11 chapters, which include different parts of the happiness journey, including mind, body, and balance. The book is filled with illustrations and lots of exercises. At the end of each chapter, she summarizes the 3 main takeaways. Here are my 3 key takeaways from reading this book. Number 1, stop hunting the highs and resisting the lows. I really like this pendulum theory, the idea of not spending too much time in the highs or the lows of life, but trying to spend most of your time in the calm, in the center. This really resonated with me because I really want the highs, and then I think when I'm in the lows, it just feels so dramatically different, and that's what he's talking about, how you can feel really unbalanced if you're constantly swinging between the two. So instead, we should be aiming for a more calmer middle of the pendulum. Number 2, get happy now. Fearne writes, reaching the end of the rainbow doesn't mean you'll be met by a better version of yourself, whereas getting happy now means you'll enjoy the whole journey a lot more. And I can totally relate to this. I think a lot of us think that we'll be happy when we lose weight, or we'll be happy when we get a boyfriend, or happy when we get a new house, whatever your goals may be. But I think the idea of postponing happiness doesn't really work. Fearne adds, the you of the future is no different from the person you are now. You may attain all you dreamed of, but there are no guarantees of happiness afterwards. Daily happiness has to come from the now. Finally, number 3, you need to train your mind like you train your body. In the book, Fearne says we need to get our mind healthy like we do physically with our bodies. Lots of people will go to the gym to get more toned, but a lot of people rarely think about their mental upkeep. She writes, my mind and body have to be mates, best mates, that work alongside each other and warn each other if one side feels slightly weaker than the other. I love quotes, and this is my favourite one from the book. Let them in and let them help you. Talking to people, the right people, is a gift and one to be used when you know you need it. It's integral to climbing this steep and treacherous mountain. Fearne talks a lot in the book about the power of opening up and sharing how you're feeling with other people. And I know from personal experience that this can really help. I haven't had the happiest of weeks, so it feels really ironic to be reviewing this book right now. But my friend suggested perhaps it's just perfect timing. This book is so pretty, and it's clear that Fearne has put a lot of thought into the design, more so than any other book that I have reviewed. Fearne talks about happiness from lots of different angles, including support from friends and family, exercising your body, and also being grateful. and she shares a lot of tips that have worked for her. I really liked Fearne's writing style, and she comes across as very likeable. As well as sharing her own experiences, she also includes interviews with friends, family, and experts. This was Fearne's first book of this type, and it was a really big deal when it was released because it was the first time she'd been so open and honest with all of her struggles with mental health. I found the beginning of the book the most impactful when she shared her history of depression. And it was quite brave, I thought, for a book called Happy to have a chapter on the exact opposite of being happy. But her struggles with depression made her realise how important happiness really is, and she's been striving for it ever since. I too have had issues with depression in the past, and the way she wrote about it really resonated with me, and I could really see how I had felt on those pages. Fearne gives advice, but she never pretends that she has all the answers or that her life is completely together. This book is good for people who get bored easily, as there are lots of exercises and they are really varied. I was intrigued to see what I would think of the book, as I knew it was quite creative, and as you can see, that's not exactly my forte. However, I embraced it, and it was quite fun to do something different. You're able to do all the exercises in the book itself, which I think is good if you want to come back to them at a later date. I found this book enjoyable to read, but also lacking a bit of substance. When she talks about strategies to help you become more happy, they do feel a bit surface level and very much from her perspective. Whilst I realise that this book is written from her perspective and she's not an expert, I do think that she could have acknowledged that some people may struggle more than others, or some people are in different circumstances. For example, there is a chapter about friends where she talks about her lovely circle of friends and how much they support her. However, other people reading that may not be so lucky, and she doesn't give any advice on how to make friends or how to retain friends or build broken bridges or anything like that. The vast majority of reviews on Amazon for this book are really positive. However, I did find quite a few that said that reading the book made them feel worse, which is completely against her intent. But I could see why that could be the case. I think if you were really depressed, then reading a book about Fearne's really supportive family, her amazing circle of friends, and her lovely children might not help you. I think the biggest benefit of this book is having a public figure be so open about her struggles with mental health, and hopefully by Fearne sharing her story, other people will feel that they can do the same. I found this book enjoyable to read. I liked some of the exercises, and I liked how creative it was. However, I do feel like it was lacking depth, tangible takeaways, and I feel like it was missing a really good conclusion at the end. So I'm giving this book 3.5 stars. I would recommend it to people who are new to personal development, creative people, and those who are already fans of Fearne. So what do you think? Are you interested in checking out this book for yourself? If so, then drop me a comment below. I've also included links to the book as well as to Fearne in the description. If you prefer listening to audiobooks rather than reading, this is also available on Audible, narrated by Fearne herself. Although personally, I would recommend a hard copy because then you have all the exercises and you can do them in the book itself. I would also recommend Fearne's podcast, Happy Place. She has some really good guests on there, including Kelly Holmes, Hillary Clinton, Elizabeth Gilbert, and Davina McCall. I'm going to be having a 1-week break for my birthday, but I'll be back in 2 weeks' time to review Girl Stop Apologizing by Rachel Hollis. This is the follow-up book to Girl Wash Your Face, which I reviewed a few weeks ago. And it says it's a shame-free plan for embracing and achieving your goals. So watch next time to see what I thought of it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, then please click subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're the first to know about my future videos. I'm really hoping to get to 100 subscribers in time for my birthday. I'm currently on 90, but I would be really, really grateful if you could help me out. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I look forward to seeing you next time.